Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are all doing well, and welcome back to another update video on the upcoming Wood Elf update. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at a multitude of changes that are not only to the Wood Elves, but also to the core game itself. And in conjunction with this upcoming update, there have been a ton of balancing changes, but of course I don't have the patch notes yet, so I don't want to go through those in too much depth until I have the patch notes and can really give you guys a concrete kind of look at things. But in this video, I can go ahead and show you guys the things that have been kind of confirmed here by my research, and we'll have some fun doing it, man. So firstly, we do have Orion. Now, Orion didn't get too many changes in terms of his abilities. He has the Hawk's Talon, he has the Horn of the Wild Hunt, Hounds of Mel Gibson, the whole picture. But one of the coolest changes about Orion, which I'll be showing you in a second, is that when he actually is running, so chasing something, he will then throw his spear. So historically, when Orion was using a spear attack, he had to stand still to do it, which seems kind of silly for like a demigod of the hunt, right? So now Orion can actually chase down targets and get them with that good old spear. On top of that, we do have the Glade Captain. The Glade Captain is one of the new FLC units and is definitely a very welcome addition to the Wood Elf roster. Not only does this character look really cool, but it also has some really good mount options. So here you have the Great Stag, you do also have the Eagle, and then on top of that, I think you have just a standard like horse or unicorn or something, but nonetheless, this is my favorite of the mount options. It makes her a very, powerful anti-large armor-piercing specialist in melee who also happens to have some pretty good ranged prowess as well, especially against lightly armored factions, and she gives a melee attack, melee defense buff to nearby allies, which is very helpful. So that is the Glade Captain here. Here in the back, we have another FLC unit, which is going to be the Glade Riders with Spears. And even though these guys are very humble and simplistic in terms of what they appear to be, they fill a very nice niche in the Wood Elf roster. A very fast skirmisher that can chase down hound units, can harass the back line. Because historically, you had to either commit Glade Riders with bows, which isn't very cost effective, or you had to send Wild Riders into someone's back line, which really is not what you want to be doing to chase down some like missile units. And these guys, for example, are going to be great at dealing with hounds, be very, very efficient at dealing with gun lines. They're also shielded, so chasing down things like Dark Riders and Pistoliers will be a very, very nice task for them. So those are the Glade Riders with Spears. Now, another big change to show you guys, which is, I guess it might not seem terribly substantial, but there has been a nerf to Manticore summoning. So for all factions, the transformation of Kadan does cost 18 wins of magic now, which I think is a very appropriate change. However, for the Wood Elves, and I believe the Elvish factions in general, they summon a Great Eagle instead of a Manticore, so it's definitely not as strong and probably will be an ability you don't see terribly often in multiplayer. In campaign, still could be useful, but Great Eagles themselves don't cause terror and are nowhere near as powerful as Manticore, so that's a pretty big change. Now, we're going to show you this battle, and after this battle's over, there's another change to the game which is massively substantial. In the post-game screen, you can see the damage dealt by units, and you can also see the amount of gold value they got. So we're just going to fight this little battle against good old Haggard Kazrak One Eye here, and we'll have some fun in the process. So let's go ahead and group these guys up. I wasn't prepared for this. So when Orion gets in range, you'll see I'm going to be running towards Kazrak, and he's going to be dropping some fat bows with his missile attack here, which I think is incredibly cool. Glade Captain can start shooting as well, and you can see he throws the spear on the run, able to hit Kazrak right in the face, and certainly is quite good. So we're coming up with the character here. Glade Captain shooting. You can see Orion just going to go in deep because he cares not for such feeble beastmen. He's definitely very sure to pop the horn too. So we'll drop this. Orion's got all of his nice buffs. You can see the Glade Captain's doing its thing. We can also charge here if we want, and we can get the caster going. Hopefully the Hawk's Talon will make some good contact here. So far, so good. Glade Captain's definitely very nice. The fact that you can like charge and harass, and she has a pretty powerful mount option, I think is very, very nice. And so far, these beasties are getting worn down. We'll show you the Manticore summon in just a second. Pull back the cab units, pull back the cab units. And we'll keep doing our thing. So Orion just kind of dealing with these Vestigore herds, and he does have the Cloak of Isha, so even if he did take a lot of damage, it really wouldn't be that substantial. Glade Captain can charge in, make sure that old Kazrak isn't able to catch this this caster here. It looks like he might be able to do some damage. And the Beastmen here are getting very, very worn down, so we'll just keep pulling back these skirmish cab, and look how effective they are. I mean, I know these are just like terrible Beastmen chaff units, but generally it's still pretty good. So we have the Eagle summon here, so another reason I wanted to show you guys this. Vestigores have been broken, shaken. We'll make sure to chase them down, and now we have the Great Eagle, and you can see it kind of soars down from the sky there, which I think is quite cool. And of course, the main legendary lord for the Beastmen is going to be losing to just one of my standard hero characters, which I think is quite cool. So there you have it. That's pretty much shows you the basics. After, of course, the battle's over, you guys are going to be able to see how much value each unit provided, which I think from a multiplayer/analytical perspective is like one of the most useful things they've added to this game. So we'll charge in, ride these guys down. Old Kazrak definitely looking, he's seen better days. We'll get the Glade Captain out, and the Glade Captain can just start charging down these units here on her giant stag. We'll run down these guys. She can keep chasing here. And all is well. Orion, yes, give Kazrak the business. Old Kazrak's trying his best. Poor guy without his DLC there. So he's crumped. The Beastmen army's crumped. You guys get the picture. And now let's jump on over to the post-battle screen where I can show you the really exciting news. So here we go. And let's see. So you need to wait for it to load. once it loads in here, you can then mouse over the units and see they did 5,000 damage overall, but only 335 gold worth of value, which means they were just pounding like crappy Ungors, right? Who cost like 400 in total. Orion himself, 694, 4,000 damage. Here you can see this caster wasn't really in combat, it was just running. But the Glade Captain did 1,800 damage with a gold value of 454, and it's a really useful trait. So for example, if you have like a group of knights that does really well, or you're curious how effective the infantry were in your engagement. So let's say you're playing like Empire against Chaos. You want to know how your greatswords did they earn their value back? You can now see that by just mousing over the units and seeing their damage dealt overall and the value. And same for Kazrak. Kazrak actually pretty good. He got some 1,200 value there. Little Gors didn't pay for themselves, obviously, and the best of Gors did do some pretty good damage against Orion, but in the end, I had a better army, so it didn't really matter. But that's what I wanted to show you guys there. So the battle stats update, we have the Glade Captain, the Eagle Manticore summon now from the Lore of the Wilds, in conjunction with the nerf. And there's one other big old change I want to show you guys. I haven't tested it yet myself, but it's certainly very exciting news. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. And as soon as I get some like patch notes and I can really go through those, I'll do a separate video on all that, because there have been some major changes. I was looking at Vampire Coast, and man, oh man, there's some big, thick changes for them. Nerfs mostly, but you guys get the picture. All right, guys, we'll see you with the last update in just a second. All right, guys, and now we're here with the last change, and this one might seem minor, but I certainly think it's going to be very fun and pertinent to your campaigns, especially if you're playing Empire or someone in that region. You'll notice here in the bottom right that there's a Chaos Invasion marker, so you can turn it off completely, for example, if you don't feel like dealing with that nonsense, but you can put it on hard, very hard legendary, and I have a feeling that provides pretty substantial impact on the Chaos Invasion, more stack spawning, better units, but I think that's going to be very cool, and any sort of customization like this is very welcome, but that's pretty much it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing the Glade Captain, the Glade Riders with Spears, had the Eagle summon, which has now replaced the Manticore summon in conjunction with the nerf to Transformation of Kadan, the battle stats upgrade on the post-game screen, as well as the Chaos Invasion update, which I'll be doing my best to get a campaign going, because I obviously have to play like 80-90 turns and get to that point to show you guys, but I think it's very cool. Anyways, my friends, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are all doing well, and today, my friends, we're back with another update on the Wood Elf update. So if you guys haven't seen my first video, which did go up probably a couple of hours ago, that one gives you a more comprehensive overview on the update as a whole. But in this video, we're going to be taking an explicit look at each of the unique forests, because they all actually give different benefits, and really they can kind of contour how you want to play your campaign. So here, of course, we have the Oak of Ages. If you look up in the top left, we have the Witchwood, we have the Gaian Vale, we have the Sacred Pools, Oak of Ages, like I said, Forest of Gloom, Orion's Camp, and then up top we have the Griffin Wood and the Lawlorn Forest. So those are all the major forests we can travel to using the world route system, which I think is quite cool. But nonetheless, as you heal these various trees, which again, we went over in great detail in the previous video, so if you guys are looking how to heal up the trees and get them to their final tier, head back to that video and check it out, because again, in this video, we're just going to be taking a look at the unique mechanics of each of these forests and what it brings to your campaign. So firstly, let's begin with the Oak of Ages. So for the Oak of Ages, the main traits it gives are growth, upkeep production for all army, and -4 for deep root transportation. So I believe the standard turn timer for transportation is 9 turns. So this is going to be putting you down to 5 turns, basically. It's either 8 or 9, I can't quite remember, but we'll find out in a second anyways. But so yeah, this one gives you growth, upkeep production, and cooldown for all of your armies, which is quite neat. So now, guys, we're going to be jumping on over to the other forests and taking a look. Of course, that's, I think, what was one of the coolest parts about the campaign, is you can kind of build your own campaign by going to these different regions, getting different perks, because again, each one is going to be giving you different army benefits, which I think is quite neat. Now, for over here at this forest, we are at the Forest of Gloom here. This one gives you campaign movement range, global recruitment capacity, as well as forest health in Athelorn. So it's going to be helping up your main forest, the Oak of Ages, which of course is the big papa of all the forest here. So Forest of Gloom in summary, campaign movement range, global recruitment capacity +1, definitely very cool. Now down south in Orion's Camp, here's another one of the Wood Elf magical forest here. This one is going to be giving you unit gain per turn for all armies. Okay, that's pretty cool. So you basically get training across all of your different armies there. And you also get global recruitment capacity. So that is what the Heart of the Jungle here, Orion's Camp, gives you. Unit experience gain per turn for all armies and global recruitment capacity. Very, very neat for sure. And now if we go up top here to the Griffin Wood, we haven't taken a look at this bad boy yet. The Griffin Wood is going to be giving you recruitment cost for all of your armies -20% and +1 to global recruitment capacity. So it seems like the global recruitment is kind of a standard motif for the Wood Elves, because you're not going to be expanding super wide. More so, you're going to be expanding on these different territories. And from there, just using global recruitment to pull from like Athelorn or one of your other strongholds. So pretty cool though. Recruitment cost definitely not bad. And now we're up to Lawlorn Forest. So if you feel like fighting the Sons of Sigmar, perhaps some Norskins up in the north, this is the forest for you. And this forest here, Lawlorn Forest, Gives income from all buildings. Oh, look at that. Plus 12% there. That's pretty cool. Also global recruitment. So yeah, this is just going to be a huge economy boosting building right there, or forest, I should say. So Lawlorn Forest giving you economy. And now we're at the Vale here, so we have to go through the Great Vortex and take a look here at the Vale. It's going to be, ooh, this is a good one. Yeah, this is real sexy. So Winds of Magic Power Reserve plus 40 for all armies. That's pretty incredible for sure. And on top of that, global recruitment capacity. You guys are seeing a recurring motif here with all these different forests. And this one better be cool. This is the Witchwood here. So the Witchwood, if we look, it gives you research rate plus 20%. Honestly, probably one of the more underwhelming ones. Certainly not bad, but I think so far, if I had to take a look, well, let's finish looking at them all first. But yeah, that one gives the juicy research rate, which I suppose isn't that juicy. Sacred Pools down here, that's not bad. Casualty replen for all your armies across the board. So you guys are seeing, over the course of a campaign, you're not necessarily going to go to all these regions. You certainly can if you want to play like a longer campaign, but you'll probably be able to defeat the campaign before securing all of the forests. So depending on how you want to build in the early game, you can prioritize certain forests. It's going to suit your playstyle. So this one gives casualty replen. We get research rate up here, which isn't bad. This one I think is one of the better ones for sure. The Winds of Magic Reserve is just so insane in campaign. It really allows you to use a lot of like really crazy abilities and whatnot. Oak of Ages, of course, is a really nice upkeep for all units, but that's one of your starting ones, so you don't really need to kind of think about it too much as a priority target. We have the unit experience per turn, not bad. It's kind of like training on steroids. Here we get campaign movement range. So honestly, I'd probably start maybe with the Forest of Gloom and then the Winds of Magic one. Like campaign movement range plus 20% is pretty insane. Your armies are going to be flying around the map, which of course is really nice for conquest and getting to targets you need to take down. Recruitment cost for all armies, not bad. And then Lawlorn Forest up here, income from all buildings is not bad either. But I really think going Oak of Ages to Forest of Gloom to the Vale is probably one of the better ways to do it, because in the early game, you won't necessarily have a caster. So going to the Forest of Gloom, getting that going, I think is quite nice. And by the time you're able to kind of solidify this and get its health up, the Vale will be very nice because you'll have a pretty solid core of spell singers and different characters like that at that point. And, you know, maybe an ancient tree man or something. So the Winds of Magic from the Forest Health here, I think would be quite nice. So there you have it, guys. Those are all the unique traits for all of the different forests here in the Wood Elf update. Definitely very cool. And I think it really puts itself even further into build your own campaign type stuff, which I think is really fun. And I don't know where I would go first, like which forest I would want to fight. There's so many cool targets. Probably, I don't know. I feel like going down to the camp is fun. You could fight some Tomb Kings down there. Fighting Lizardmen would be very interesting. Like whenever there's a kind of a clash between Old World and New World, I always find that to be quite cool. We got the Vale here. Yeah, so many choices, man. Well, anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that short video. I'm just taking a quick look at all the unique forest mechanics, which you decide to go to. And of course, if you have Orion here, for example, we can show you what it looks like to go up to Lawlorn Forest. So you click on the army, it has to be turn 10. You click the world roots, you teleport, boom, you're up there. And then basically you just got to get the forest into your clutches here. So you can see there's Guardians of the Forest, so you need to take it over at that point. So you got to make sure that you have a good enough army to really kind of punch them and take that and make sure it's all yours. So if we want to fight Empire, that's fine. If we go ahead and take a look at the world routes, once again, to travel back, we do have a cooldown of 5 turns, but I believe we currently have -5, so it looks like the actual cooldown for the teleportation is -5. But of course, there's tech trees and different things in the campaign that can really help you do that a little bit quicker. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll see you with more videos soon. Take care, my friends.